In today's show, we're going to be showing you Amazon listing optimization using Chat GPT-4. There's plenty of tools out on the market that are integrating Chat GPT-4 into being able to do things for your Amazon business. And I'm bringing on one of the known experts in this space, Jon Tilly from ZonGuru. He's going to show us how his tool, ZonGuru, integrates Chat GPT-4 to help optimize your Amazon listing. So let's jump into the interview with Jon Tilly, and he's going to show you how to optimize your listing. Hey, you're going to notice that there's some other people on this call. This is our mastermind, Profitable Pineapple Farm. You can go to profitablepineapplefarm.com to check that out. This is our mastermind where we get together once a week and we help you solve your biggest business challenges. And we're also helping you become a servant to then build you to an 8-figure exit. And so if you want to join us, go to profitablepineapplefarm.com. Now hurry, because by the time you're seeing this, we're probably going to be raising prices. And so we're going to be raising prices here very soon. So make sure you join as soon as you can to lock in our lowest price. I always talk about how to 10x a business, it always comes down to who's and not how's. And so whenever you're thinking about 10xing your business, you always got to think about who can get you there, who can find you the connections to get you certain relationships that can expand you individually, but also expand your business. And I met a super connector back in December. That's what he calls himself. I talked to him on a call. He's like, yeah, I'll connect you with a few people. I literally got 50 emails of connections in my inbox that day. And the crazy thing is we were looking for something in our agency for like a dashboard so we could look at all our clients on one screen. And then we could also provide more value to our clients by giving them access to tools that they could use to replace tools that they're already using. And that does two things for our clients. Number one, it saves them money because they don't have to do Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. They can actually use ZonGuru that we pay for them. And number two, it creates stickiness with the clients. It makes clients want to stay with us longer because we provide more value to them. And we have clients on this call, and I have no problem saying that to them, because the more value we create for them, the longer they're going to stay with us. Obviously, we have to do our job and do a good job at it, but the more you get them into your ecosystem, the longer they're going to stick, as long as you're providing great value. So that's what we always try to do with Profitable Pineapple, is provide more value for you. And we try to get you access to software that you're already using. And then you don't have to pay for it because you're already paying for it when you pay for us. And then we get you access to that. And so ZonGuru is one of those tools. Jon worked with us. We created an agency dashboard that pretty much allows us to look at all our clients in one screen, see trends of 7-day, 30-day, 90-day. And then we can actually dig into each of their accounts individually and dig deeper into it. But then we can also give the client access to the tools to help with what you're going to see today, which is listing optimization. And now we can provide that service for our clients, listing optimization, by using this tool. And it literally takes, I would say, 1/10 of the time that it took us before to do listing optimization. So we can do a ton of product listing optimizations in very little time now compared to what we used to do. And so it allows us to do more than just one a month. We could do pretty much almost a full client portfolio. And so without further ado, let's bring on Jon, and he's going to go over the new Chat GPT-4 option with Amazon listing optimization with ZonGuru. And that's just one tool that they have. So Jon, come on in. I know you have a couple slides, and then we're going to kind of do some live demos.
What's up, Travis? Good to see everyone on the call here. You know, it's funny, Travis, I speak to agency owners all the time, and like I explain like the opportunity with ZonGuru and you know, the kind of this portfolio dashboard license kind of structure, and one of them just glaze over. But like when I told Travis about, like, you got it immediately and you were like, this is going to bring a lot of value. So it's good to see when it lands, or it's like, you know, agency owners are smart enough to pick up on that. So yeah, super cool to see. But yeah, nice to see everyone here. I'm in Los Angeles. That's where I'm based. The accent is South African, so I grew up in South Africa, but I'm in LA in 2006. So this hasn't disappeared. So hopefully you guys follow along. Yeah, good. Can I jump into it?
Yeah, let's jump into the slides. Let's. I know you had a couple slides, and then let's see this in action. I mean, I haven't got to play with the Chat GPT-4 function too much, but I have shown them quite a bit with the listing optimization. So we've gone over that a couple of times, and excited to see what Chat GPT-4 brings to it.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over one specific part of the tool today, which is essentially the Chat GPT integration. We were the first in the space to launch that back in January. We heard about it in November last year, and we were like, let's get in and test this. And we went in with skepticism, but we were surprised very quickly of how good this is. Travis threw in a couple of examples right at the start of this. So we're going to go ahead and just try to do a live version and just run through an optimization live, so you guys can see how that looks. Let's hope there's results there. But yeah, let's jump in. And if there's questions, I don't know how you want to run this. If there's questions, we can go with the questions live as we go, or feel free to interrupt me. That's no problem. So very high level. If you don't know ZonGuru, we have about 18 different tools today, and we're connected to North America, Europe, Australia, and India to help you operationally run your Amazon storefront. You know, it's really just the operational tools to help you scale that business. But we're really known for flagship tools around keyword intelligence, which obviously is the baseline platform that you need to kind of prompt your ChatGPT AI. And then the listing optimization aspect of that, which we call contextual SEO, which I'll get into in a second. But that's kind of been our hallmark over the last few years, is this idea of contextual Amazon keyword research and contextual listing optimization. So that's us. And obviously we have brands, and we do have agencies as well that are jumping on. And right now, one of our fastest growing segments are agencies, because they see the value in tools. We do have a pretty strong seller DNA, which is great, and kind of have a shiny objects philosophy, right? So it's just a shiny, cool object, but it doesn't actually move the needle for your Amazon business. We're not interested in doing it. If it does, we'll obviously include it. So that's kind of the lens that we look through when we develop our product. I'm just going to talk high level to Amazon SEO. I think everyone on this call really understands, SEO to a high level, but there's always this the magic around the Amazon algorithm, what goes into it, right? And at a high level, it's pretty basic math. We're a verified partner of Amazon. We have our contacts there. We have other people that we are connected with that have developed the algorithm. It's not rocket science, right? There's a whole bunch of things. You guys know all of these that go into the algorithm, but at a high level, it's how can you exact and broad match for best terms in your listing. The higher up it is, the more juice you get if you convert on that one. What I would say about that one, and what we're seeing of late, and what we do well with the algorithm, is it's not necessarily about exact matching, but if you can broad match for as many relevant terms as possible in your title, that's going to give you your biggest bang for your buck, right? So our algorithm does a really good job of broad matching for a bunch of terms without overstuffing the listing, which is great. The rest of these organic sales of Amazon traffic, keyword relevance, click-through rate, conversion, seller authority, these are typical things that are part of the algorithm. What I would say is that over time, some of the importance of those things shift, right? And depending on what aligns with Amazon's kind of current business objectives. And I would say of late, one that has good impact if you can get it right. And the caveat is if you can get it right is off Amazon traffic. Clearly at an Amazon level, if they've got the traffic already, whether you get the sale or someone else makes a sale, they're getting the sale. So, it's okay. But if you can actually bring off Amazon traffic to your listing and convert that, they reward you for that, not only for that sale, but across your whole listing. But again, you've got to manage your ACOS and tacos on that side with your Amazon traffic, right? But we do see spikes in your session percentage and obviously your conversion percentage if you can drive that off Amazon traffic. So that is one to look for. If you're not doing it, you should definitely be doing that as part of your business.
You've been following us for any period of time, then I'm obsessed with off Amazon traffic. That's kind of what we specialize in our agency, is Google Ads to a problem-based blog post. And then that blog post goes over to Amazon with an attribution link. And that's how we built our company, I Love, from 2017 till 2021 when we sold it. And it helped us build an email list of 140,000, a YouTube list of 55,000 subscribers. And then it created this moat around our listing that if we were ever taken down for some reason, we just shut it all down. And then right when we got put back up, we put all that off Amazon traffic back to it, and it'd pop us right back up to the top of page one.
100%. And obviously what you're doing, which is smart there, is you're qualifying the traffic before it gets there, right? So your conversion rate is going to be higher, which is you're light years ahead of a lot of sellers, which is great. So becoming harder right now, but yeah, you've got that. I've always said about your e-commerce business is if your vision is just Amazon, you're obviously missing an opportunity. You've got to have a holistic, if you want to be an e-commerce brand, Amazon might be one of your biggest channels, but you need the other channels, Shopify, wherever you're driving it from, right? So that you can, when you really start to scale, you talked about 10x. If you can start to get a couple of channels working, that's when you can scale all your channels, because you can direct the traffic where you need it to go. And now you've got a real business beyond Amazon. So you definitely want to create a business beyond Amazon for sure.
Hey, it's Dr. Travis Ziegler, and I wanted to thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to take a brief couple seconds to let you know about a free Amazon PPC Masterclass that I have. Just head to profitablepineapple.com to sign up for that free Amazon PPC Masterclass, or you can click the link down below in the description. I'll see inside.
Okay, so when I talk about contextual SEO, what do I mean by that? Best optimization, right? For obviously the algorithm and whatever, we clearly understand about what moves the needle there. That's number one. Number two is there's humans. We've got to have intelligence around not just optimizing the content, but how can we make sure that we help with conversion? We have a tool called Love Hate. We're not going to show it today, but it helps you to try and get at insights around what actually matters to customers and what moves the needle, what's the emotional connection that they have or the product connection. So, having that help with conversion and intelligence around that. And then the big piece around our tools, which we do differently, is versus the competition. So, both in our keyword intelligence as well as our listing optimization tool, we have this idea of context, which is like, how do we tell you what are the best keywords, how you should use them, what's your best optimization score, but how does that compare to your biggest competitors? Where are they strong? Where are they weak? Where's the opportunity? And that's critical in scaling your business, right? Is want to optimize for the best keywords, but what are some of those opportunistic keywords that no one's found yet that we can go after? We can own higher in the listing, PPC, however we want to do that, get better conversion for it, to create this halo effect and really drive our listing. These are kind of things within our tool that we've done for years that obviously help you as sellers. So that's in most of our tools, we're always trying to look at context, which is what's impacted your business up, down, left, right, whatever it is, not only just from Amazon, but from your competitors, and giving you insights around that. Around ChatGPT, we were the first to launch it back in 2023 in the Amazon space. Again, we've got developers on our team and skeptical, but we were very quickly, surprised by the kind of value it can create. We're now on version Chat GPT-4. We were on 3.5 before that. We're 4 now. That there's a lot of things that it does better, a lot more customization and control that we have now as well, which is great. High level, improved results, better customization. I'll show you some of these things now as we get into Chat GPT-4. The feedback we're getting, and this is across agencies back on ZonGuru, but if they're implementing these in the right way, they're seeing better ranking, better positions than they've ever had before. We're seeing, and this is the interesting stats right now, track across, we've got a big private label seller base globally, agencies, but we're tracking the before and after effect on revenue from implementing listing optimization on an existing listing, and we're seeing about a 23% increase in revenue overall, right, up, down, but that's kind of where it's netting out. That doesn't account for if there are images that are uploaded. We're not handling that, but as an overall picture, we're seeing impact. And the other cool part is that you'll see this when we do it in the tool, but typically there's about a 37% increase in the optimization score right off the bat when you create a listing optimization with ChatGPT. So, it takes about a minute and a half. It's a little bit longer with ChatGPT-4 right now on some listings, but once you hit that button, you'll get a listing. And when you compare it to other bestsellers, it's about a 37% increase overall on average. So we'll see that when we go through an example.
Hey, Chris, can you share what happened to one of our clients that we pretty much revamped all their listings last Thursday with this tool?
Yeah, absolutely. So we went into this person's account and we redid their title, their bullet points, the description, the back-end search terms. And they were getting on average right around 6 to 8 sales per day. We uploaded everything to their listing right around Thursday at like 10 p.m. or so. And then Friday, their sales went to 12. And then the next day it was 15. The day after that, it was 32 or 36. The day after that, it was 20. And then 17. So we're averaging a lot higher now just from making some of these small changes.
And this was a smaller client. So imagine what it could do if you're selling more than that per day. Imagine what it could do, provide a lift for you. I mean, just look at the numbers right here that you have in front of you. It could be huge.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to hear. Yeah, and we're hearing that kind of feedback. And I think the other interesting part of, you talked about it a little bit earlier, Travis, but speed at which you can do listings now at a quality level and moving, whether you're a brand owner or you're an agency, but moving the focus around the actual content writing into content editing, creativity, just tweaking the listing once you've got the baseline there. But the speed at which you can go through listings, one of the big benefits we're seeing right now is not necessarily focused on optimizing the flagship listings, because most people have their flagship listings pretty dialed in. If not, then obviously you can redo them. But when you have a longer SKU count and there's a few listings there that aren't performing as well as they're doing, and you haven't had the human capital to get to them, those are the ones where if you can actually get those ones going, your whole account rises, right? And it does really well. So There's kind of some interesting benefits around optimizing some of the lesser performing ASINs and getting them to perform better overall for the account. So that's a pretty interesting way of looking at it as well. All right, so type of prompts, and some of these we have in here, some of them are actually coming out in a week, but the type of things that we do for prompting is obviously the keyword intelligence. That's critical. I firmly believe that our keyword intelligence tool is the leader in the industry from the kind of quality output that we get, especially at a localized marketplace. You'll see keywords, how we find them, that you just won't find on other tools. So if you can feed that into the AI, you already got an advantage, because you're actually getting at keywords that customers are typing into Amazon that other sellers are just not finding because they're not using ZonGuru, right? Review sentiments, I talked about that from our love-hate tool. We do factor that in some form. Listing performers in a niche, but we have intelligence that will gather best performing listings in a niche, and we find commonalities in that we can help to prompt in terms of keyword placement, etc. Exact broad match title by priority and order. I would say one of the biggest things we're seeing is that broad match on title, without overstuffing the listing, which is working really well. We give it product awareness, wood or metal, language, tonality, and then that includes so language is obviously, it's localized language for the market, right? So Spanish in Spain is different to Spanish in Mexico, right? So with Chat GPT-4 you have that localized translation. Tonality, you can add negative match exclusions, which we have, and then a pretty cool part which is coming out, it won't be in this demo, but it's coming out in a week, is power prompting. So this is cool because anyone here who's using ChatGPT or Bard or any AI, you understand how you can prompt your AI, not necessarily you obviously give them the initial prompts and you get a result, but it's the re-prompting that you can get much deeper on your answers, right? And so within the platform now, you can prompt it once, it will create the listing, but then it's learned on what it's created, so you can re-prompt it and you can finesse it further, right? So the other things you can do outside of tonality is if you have a brand and there's a brand voice, prompt the AI and say, hey, write it in this with this brand tone, write your listing, right? So you can get better on brand tone. You can re-prompt, you can say, hey, I like what you've written here. Make sure you put these 5 benefits first and make sure your character count is 5,000. Whatever it is that you want to re-prompt, you can actually do that within the tool, which is pretty interesting. Some are actually just using it to re-prompt for writing shorter listings that they want to use for the Shopify store or for eBay or whatever as well. So there's a lot of different uses you can use on that. This is the control panel, the full control panel that's going to be out this week. So when you prompt your AI, you can choose the keywords. By default, it's going to choose all of them. You can select whatever keywords you want. You can put in a product description, negative match on keywords. Typically, you should clean your keyword list first, remove brands, any terms of services from that. But if you can always put this on top of that. You can choose your mood. The language is already chosen depending on what market you're running it into. And then this is the power prompting feature. You can tell the AI what to write, finesse it, etc. So you've got pretty much all the control you need on top of a platform where every day we're obviously improving our keyword intelligence. We're improving the type of prompts, how to improve how you prompt AI to get the best results, right? So all of that automation around the prompting and the feeding is handled within the tool. All right, let's jump over to demo. Does anybody have questions? Because if you have questions, I'm happy to answer a couple. Okay, cool. Travis, you good for me to use this as an example?
Go for it.
Cool. So I haven't actually set this up because I just got Travis send me this right before, so we'll see how the results come out. But what I've done contextually, I've typed in friendship lamp into Amazon, and what I want to know as a seller is, okay, cool, these are all the listings, right? I can look at them, but I want to understand who are the major competitors, how well are they optimized for keywords, where are they strong, weak, and if I'm creating my own listing, whether it's brand new or I have an existing one, how can I get an optimization score that's better than the best on page 1 for this niche? If I can achieve that as a baseline and check that off, I know I've maximize the potential on my listing, and I can go and do PPC, I can do whatever else I want, right? But to scratch that itch and say, hey, I've got the best listing on page 1 is a pretty cool place to be, right? And so, what I would just do here is on our Chrome extension, obviously you can choose the top organic listings, right? We have a bunch of data, it's typical Chrome extension. But one thing that's interesting is we can see who's getting the most clicks and conversions from brand analytics, which is this number 1 over here. So this listing is right now, this week, I think we updated weekly, is getting the most clicks and conversions for this term Friendship Lamp. They've got it in the name. I think it might be a brand name, right? And then you can see who's getting number 2 and 3 down here as well. I think I saw it earlier. I don't know where. Oh, there's number 3. So this guy's getting the 3rd most clicks and conversions right now. So whenever you're comparing to listings, you can take the top 3 organic, but you can also look at like, hey, who's getting the most clicks and conversions? Why are they? And let's look at their listings as well, right? So that's kind of a trick that you can do using our Chrome extension. I'm going to go into our tool right now. This is ZonGuru. For those that haven't seen it, you know, you get a high level dashboard. This is just a demo account, but a high level dashboard. Some of the unique things is this kind of historical graphical representation of your sales and your session and conversion percent. But what we do is we embed, you can customize and embed events into your dashboard, right? So if you see a spike in sales, you can be like, why did that happen? Well, you know, we dropped our price and our main competitor ran out of stock, or whatever that is, right? So you get the context, you know, of your sales. So anyway, I'm not going to get too distracted with this, but you have a full dashboard, you have all the tools that are available to you. And then under listing optimization, you have a keyword intelligence tool called Keywords on Fire, and then our listing optimizer tool. So Keywords on Fire looks like this. I just ran a session on Friendship Lamp, and I'll show you what the keywords look like. At a high level, when you run it on whatever the term is, right, you can see the analysis with up to 25 listings. I just did it on product phrase and just dropped in the top 25 organic listings, but you can add multiple keywords, you can finesse it however you want. And then this is the results that you get. We pull in some API data, we dedupe that with, you know, a reverse ASIN, and then we run it through a relevancy filter. So you're not going to get 10,000 keywords, you're going to get 300 to 1,500 of the most relevant terms, depending on what your niche is, and then a bunch of data across it, right? So we'll give you a relevancy score, which is important, search volume, historical search volume, a bunch of data points, brand analytics, clicks and conversions. And then importantly, we also give you where these 25 competitors are and how they rank on those keywords up to position 300. And the reason we give this secondary view is that idea of context, right? Which is, if I'm optimizing a listing, I could say, hey, give me, you know, the most relevant keywords. I could save a view. I could, you know, dedupe a couple of brands out of there and just save that view and say, this is what I want to optimize the listing for. But I can also do interesting stuff. Hey, I want to see the keywords that my top 3 competitors don't rank for on page 1. I can just click a couple of buttons here. I'm clicking on not ranked for the top 25 positions. So right now, there's 179 keywords that my top 3 competitors don't rank on page 1. And I could add search volume if I want. Let's say greater than or equal to, let's just say 1,000. So right now, this is still a lot, but there's 135 keywords that my main top 3 competitors don't rank for on page 1 that have decent search volume of 1,000 or more. I'd want to finesse that further, but what I'm trying to get at with this type of view on the tool is that once I've found the keywords that I want to optimize for, I can also do interesting things like find the keywords where my main competitors don't rank for or haven't found yet that have decent search volume that I can save as an opportunistic set of keywords that I can make sure my listing has from a quality score perspective that I can run PPC to, right? So those are some of the more interesting use cases that you can use as part of the tool as well. Great. And so you would clean this list, you would take out some of the competitors, you can just use these filters to remove them. We don't have to go over that right now. And then as part of the optimization, you would just create a session. So I just created one called Friendship Lamp. I haven't done anything with that. I'll just open it up. And this is what it looks like at a high level, right? So what my goal is right now is to set up my right-hand side for my optimization purposes. I can go ahead and just add one listing. I could add my current listing here, blank listing, or what you can do, which is how we typically recommend it, is add a couple of those main competitors and see how they score versus yours. So I'll just go add by listing. If I was connected, I could just add some of my own listings, but right now my data isn't connected because I'm in a demo account. So I would just go search for keywords. I'd just type in Friendship Lamp. I could search. It should pop up immediately. Sometimes when we share screen, it takes a second. Hopefully it pops up. Yep. So now I can select a couple of the main competitors, right? I think Friendship Lamp was the number 1. I don't know if you have any other ones or you want me to choose here.
So Friendship Lamp is the main one, but Love Links, the very top one there, is their main competitor.
Let's load those 2. So I'll add those 2, and I'll add these products. You can see they're added down the bottom, and then I'm going to add a blank listing. Let's just call this AI, right? AI listing, right? Add that listing. I could add my own list, ASINs I want to just copy over, whatever I want to do, and then I hit finish, right? And so what it's done right now is it's loaded those top 2 competitors, and then I've also loaded an AI listing, right? And at a high level, when you load it, right, we load all the content that matters. So the title, the bullets, the description, right, and then the backend search terms, which is pretty interesting, right? So that's unique, but you can actually see the backend search terms of those listings. Interestingly enough, they've gone over their character counts. I don't know how they did that, but these guys are loaded. And then we have the blank listing. So, we've set that up, and now we want to add keywords on the left-hand side. So I would just import from our keyword session, and I can load friendship lamps. I haven't saved any other views, but if I'd cleaned out some of the keywords, etc., they would stack underneath that. And I can load all keywords, or I can load the strong and medium. Maybe in this case, I'll just for this example, load all keywords, right? So I've loaded all 300 keywords. What the technology will do now is obviously rate these keywords from a relevancy perspective, and then give it an optimization score, right? So I can see right now, friendship lamp has an optimization score of 14,000. What it shows you here is of the keywords that are here, how well are they optimized for the overall search volume? And the red line over here is kind of a sample set of the averages of listings we have in this niche and how they score on the search volume. So overall, this one's doing pretty well. Maybe on the bullet points, they could do better, right? But it's a pretty well optimized listing. Friendship lamp is doing better, is better in some ways, but they could do their backend search terms a bit better, right? So that's the optimization score. Now that score is based on how well the listings are exact or broad matched for the main terms, title, bullets, description, backend search terms, in that order, right? So depending on how you put it into your listing, we will score the listing accordingly. And then you have a listing strength score, which is based on, are you maximizing certain areas, title, bullets, ratings, etc. They don't have great ratings too much on this front yet, right? So, and then I can just roll over these keywords and see where are they exact match or broad match in their listing, right? The broad match is the open star, exact match is this one. I can see what keywords are missing. So the word, 2 is missing, lights, which is telepathy. I don't know if, there's a whole bunch of keywords here you can see are missing. Typically, you'll see some Spanish keywords in here that might be missing as well. Again, but this, you want to clean this up, make sure you take out the brand names. But these are the deduped keywords that are missing that you can add to your listing. So high level, what it does, and what we can do is go ahead and create an AI listing right now. So we can just do it on all of these keywords. I can just hit AI generate. We can just type in a product description. What would be a longer tail keyword for this category?
Long distance friendship lamps or long distance touch lamps.
Long distance friendship lamps. Okay, so I've added that. Now remember, I showed you that control panel. There's a lot more functionality with that negative keyword match, AI telepathy, the AI power prompting part of it, and that's coming out in a week. So we're pretty much in testing right now for that piece. So that piece will be added onto here. So that's the vision of where you'll get to. But this will be more than enough. Right now, I haven't selected any specific keywords. I'm just doing it on all the keywords, and then I'll hit AI generate. So it's going to take like probably 1 minute to 2 minutes to just run what we're doing right now is we're prompting the AI with the most relevant keywords, which is all of those keywords. But based on that relevancy score we have, we're telling the AI, hey, write a listing, exact and broad match for the most relevant terms in the title first, then by the bullets, description, back and search terms. Write it in the character length that is right for Amazon in the right way without overstuffing it. All those kind of prompts that we talked about, the sentiments, everything that we can do, we're doing that now within the tool. And then we're publishing it into here, and you'll see the result. Hopefully we get a good result here. One thing that we also just, and I'm sure you guys at Profitable Pineapple are going to appreciate this, but one thing that we're also doing is we're changing that interface so that when you hit AI run, instead of just waiting until that runs, we're going to allow you to kind of multitask and run some other listings, and then we'll prompt you once the listing is run, right? So that minute or 2 minutes while you're waiting, you can actually do other tasks, which is going to be a nice improvement. Anyway, so this is the listing that's run. You can see right off the bat, it scored 18,000 as an optimization score, which is better than these top 2 listings that we've added. And remember, I told you on average it's about 37% better than the other listings. So you can kind of see it's kind of in that range, right? The listing strength is going to be low because this is a brand new listing, so we don't have ratings because it's brand new, right? And we don't have pictures, but you can see we've maximized these 3, right? So obviously, if it's a current listing that you're optimizing, you're going to get ratings, etc. in there. This is the score that we're getting. looks like we can do a little bit more on the title, which is fine. And remember, we haven't cleaned this, so there might be some brand names in here. But if I look at the title, right, you can see what it's done well is it's exact and broad matched for a bunch of terms. And this is where we really stand out, right? Is, you know, it hasn't done as better job as I've seen. You're getting a lot that are just included somewhere in the listing, right? You can just roll over and see where it's included. Typically, you get a lot more of these open stars that are broad matching in the title, right? And that's where it makes a big difference. But, you know, we can look at this listing. Obviously, we prompted it, right? So long distance friendship lamps, set of 2, touch activated, friend lamps for connection across miles, ideal gift for loved ones, easy setup and use. It'll give you the benefit first, stay connected with long distance friendship lamps, you know, describe it, innovative telepathy technology. It'll write the description, stay connected with your loved ones no matter the distance with our long friendship lamps, this unique and thoughtful gift, blah, 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 right? So you can see it's written exactly how we should write a listing for Amazon. It'll also tell you what keywords you might want to add, right? These dark green keywords, it's suggesting you should add these keywords. That's a brand name. You don't want to put that in there. But the word touch, you know, it'll suggest some things there. You'll also be able to see what keywords are missing, and I can just add them. I can also just click on them to add them to the backend search terms. And then also if I'm not happy with something like this description, you know, I could actually select a couple of keywords to say, hey, these are the ones I want to use. I could hit regenerate, and I could regenerate. I could add obviously a different product description. And when we have the auto prompt, you can also add that auto prompt and then regenerate it, right? So you can do it down to specifics once you've generated the first thing and just work on it further. Obviously, you can go in and manually type in whatever you want. I can just go in here and type anything I want, right? And just kind of get the listing to where I want it to be. And once I'm happy with the score, I can actually just add all the backend search terms. Let's just add them. It's going to overstuff it right now, but we just add them in. But you can see if I added all of them, you know, our score is 24,000 versus these 2 listings right here. And if I'm happy with the listing, I can just publish this directly to Amazon. So I hit publish to Amazon. On that side, you can, you know, map it to the current ASIN that you have in your store. We're also in a week, this functionality is coming out as well, but you'll be able to map that to the parent and all the childs, and then publish it directly to all your childs, and then update the colors or whatever instead of central. So there's some bulk optimizations you can do, but at a high level, the job here is to get a well-optimized listing that's better than your competitors from an optimization score that's well written right off the bat, and then give you the ability to edit, finesse, update, see what you should be improving. You can also import from competitors, or, you know, see what they do well on a bullet, maybe copy that over if you want, so, and then finesse it further. So there's plenty of options you can do here within the tool, and then move it directly over to Amazon. So that's at high level. Cool. Any thoughts on that, or any specific questions? But yeah, I mean, you know, definitely right off the bat here, we're pretty guaranteed that we're, you know, going to have a better potential of hitting, you know, the algorithm in the right way with the biggest reach we can, you know, by optimizing using this with AI, and then hopefully you can finesse it before you push it live.
Oh, this is great. I truly appreciate this tool because it saves us a ton of time. And, you know, building out listings from scratch can be very, very time consuming. And this really wraps it up to be able to do it in pretty much an hour. But like I always tell people, you know, use the AI because of how quick it can make you in this, but then you have to go through it. You have to go through the title, go through the bullets, make sure it reads, make sure it reads well, make sure it makes sense. But yeah, it's a great tool. You need to use it because it will save you a ton of time. And people used to charge $1,000 to $10,000 to build out a listing. So this saves an incredible amount of time.
And to your point, I think it's not replacing the experts in this area, but it's giving them the space to focus their expertise, give more time to their expertise, and bringing their creativity and their kind of finessing to the listing, so that content editing, right? So, you know, that's what's the needle mover in the space, is giving the baseline, and then, you know, us as humans can bring our knowledge to that, right? Which is important. So yeah, there's not much more to say there. I think
Chris said another good tip that you went over pretty quickly is that when you see Spanish keywords in the keyword listing, to make sure to put it in your back end, and then also create that Spanish version of your A+ content to hit that other market, because there are 30 million people living in America that are primarily Spanish speaking, and they flip the switch on their Amazon app from English to Spanish. And if you have that A+ content and those Spanish keywords in the back end, you're going to show up more likely than your competitors.
100%. Oh, here we go. So I was just looking to see, but yeah, you can see here, here's the Spanish keywords are popping up, right? So this is one that you would definitely want to add right off the bat. So typically we do see more Spanish words, and if you are selling in Europe, the localized marketplaces see a lot of keywords in there that's other keywords are just not finding because of the way we did it. So 100% you should be adding Spanish keywords to your bag for sure.
Does anybody else have any questions for Jon? I mean, you guys have the developer of the tool here in our mastermind meetings, so you can ask him pretty much anything. As you guys know, we use this once a month. We have our Amazon product roast, or our hot seat, and we go through this tool with some of your listings as well. So, but if you have any questions for Jon, feel free to ask him, and we'll open up the floor. And if not, that's okay too.
I've got one. Hey, Jon, good to see you.
Hey, what's up?
I've heard it in a couple of calls recently, and then I saw that somebody had saw like a posting / document that they're trying to build up more employees at Amazon to change, like make a major change at some point, either this year or early 2024, to change the A9 for more like, I'm going away to the beach for the weekend, and then like putting the full package of stuff to like maybe go on a trip or solve this problem in your life or that. Have you heard any of that kind of stuff talk yet about potential changes to the algorithm?
I haven't actually heard about that one. That's interesting. There was somewhat of a significant, I don't know if you guys felt that, probably about, I don't know, it must be 2 or 3 months ago now, there were some tweaks that were done to the algorithm. We investigated that a lot more, and that wasn't that wasn't like a shift in how they think about it. It was just about what they deemed more important as all the inputs into the algorithm, right? So that's where kind of like outside traffic and kind of your storefront score and those kind of things came into play more. But I haven't heard about that kind of big shift where it's like, hey, you can search by need or activity. Pretty interesting. I haven't heard that. I will look more into that. Yeah.
There's a question from William in the chat. Do we have to connect our own OpenAI API key?
Yeah, good question. No. So we cover the cost of that. So we're actually one of the world's, not even just in the Amazon space, but we were one of the first verified, companies to integrate with Chat GPT in the AI. So we, for that AI license and got that embedded in our tool, and we're actually even pass that cost on to you guys. So you get that totally included. The only thing you really need to do to get the tool to work at its full level of functionality is connect your Set Essential. You just literally just click up here and you connect your marketplaces, right? And you're good to go. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other tools you can check out. Obviously, review automation, the product pulse, research tools. We have some reporting functions as well. So the good thing is through obviously Profitable Pineapple, you get access to a lot more tools and limits, etc. So you guys are in a good spot.
Cool. Jon, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks. And to everyone out there, I think it's a good time. Everyone's focused a lot more on profitability of late, and just a few things happening. But I think there's some good ahead that we're seeing in the marketplace. So good luck to everyone out there. And if we can help in any way, anytime, I'd love to connect with anyone here.
Okay, appreciate your time.
All right, cheers, guys.
All right, thanks, Jon. If you enjoyed this video, you're gonna love the Profitable Pineapple Farm. What is that? It's our weekly mastermind where we meet to discuss challenges in your businesses. We put you on the hot seat. We go over best practices and hacks. We go over mindset opportunities and much, much more. Head to profitablepineapplefarm.com to join us. Again, profitablepineapplefarm.com to join us. If we're not open at the time, just join the wait list. Hey, I wanted to thank you for watching this video, and I picked out another video just for you. So make sure you check out that other video. And what do they need to do? Do they need to like and subscribe? Yeah. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. What do you think?